Hi, I'm Christopher Dunn again. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Brutus interior wall sconce. This is the 402035. So if you are not familiar with brutalism, that's a design term in architecture and furniture and lighting. That goes back to the United Kingdom, to England, right after World War II, when they were rebuilding a lot of the cities in England that had been bombed out. And a lot of the design was done by architects that were celebrating the materials that they wanted to really show. So there's a lot of kind of in-your-face, really heavy design of those. And this is basically sculpture, and those buildings were sculpture too. I've even seen that design influence come into the United States, and there was bedroom furniture that was produced in the United States in the 1950s and 60s that had big clunky fronts and a little different than what people were used to in those colonial kind of, graceful silhouettes. But anyway, so this basically is laser cut sculpture, and it is really, really beautiful. I would have this in my house in a second. Let's get into the size of the fixture itself, and that's 17.3 inches high. The width on it is a nice big 24.3. Projection from the wall coming out at 7.2, and it weighs 9.2 pounds. So the mounting height on this is going to be measured from the very bottom of the fixture to the middle of the junction box that we have here. That's coming in at 8.2, and then the back plate on this that's going to go over your 4-inch junction box, that's 5 inches by 5.8. So it goes over a 4-inch J box just fine and dandy. Let's get let's get into the lamping on it. So you're going to be using what's called a candelabra socket. We have all grown up with this all our lives. It's a smaller screw-in. Easy to find the bulbs, no problem. Every store you walk into, anything from a drugstore to your grocery store to a hardware store, is going to have these bulbs. You don't need to go online to get these. You're going to be limited to two 60-watt versions of this, and this is a torpedo. You can also get this in a candelabra if you find this a little easier out in the world. But you're limited to two 60-watt bulbs if you want to go incandescent. If you want to go LED, these are probably going to max out at about 60-watt equivalent. You may be able to find a 75-watt equivalent torpedo candelabra socket size, but I haven't found one, but you might be able to. I haven't been really looking though. So anyway, two of them is going to give you a lot of light, and this is going to basically wash the wall behind the sculpture, because what you really want to see is all of that laser cut design in silhouette with the light coming from behind it. It's going to be very impressive when you see it. When we talk about LEDs, I always talk about the color of the light, and in this situation you can really influence what you're doing by just getting the right bulbs that go with what you want to project as far as a design sense, right? So if you go for a 2700K LED, that's going to be very yellow and golden on your wall. If you go for what's called daylight, and daylight sounds warm, but it's not warm, that's that whiter light, bluish white, and that's going to be 4,000, 5,000 Kelvin on the Kelvin scale. That's like an overcast day or a hospital waiting room. That actually might be nice on this fixture just because it's so modern. You maybe want to go with what we use in our showroom, which is called warm white, and that's going to be 3,000 Kelvin. So that's kind of in the middle of the two I just talked about, and that's going to give you light that is a lot like the light that comes out of an incandescent bulb that we all grew up with. So totally up to you. That's going to be 3,000 Kelvin on that scale. So when you're out looking, just kind of zero in on all those things. It's a dimmable fixture, so if you do want to dim it, make sure you buy dimmable LEDs. We know that incandescents dim automatically without a problem. Very important to use the correct dimmer for LEDs. Tell your installer that you're going to be using LEDs in this fixture if you guys are going in that direction. Let's get into finishes now. If you're on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over on this side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a tab. It's going to say Finishes Help Guide. Click on that for me. There's going to be a video on there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton Forge finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be talking about a chart a little farther down on the page. You'll see it next to me here. It's going to kind of go over the differences between heavy forging and non-heavy forging, and it'll be talked about in that video. So it's really important that you kind of watch the video, use the chart. You can click on that chart on different things. So you can click on dark smoke and a big page will pop up and show you lots of different things in dark smoke. Click on burnished steel or natural iron, it'll do the same thing. But it's really important that you understand how Hubbardton Forge's finishes are kind of divided into translucent and opaque, and how they can look on different fixtures. Our showroom in Vermont has we're up to 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a what's on display page. It's way up there in those red tabs again, so click on that and you can see what we have to show you. That changes all the time because we're always adding things as they come out. Showroom's open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. We have an amazing clearance center here too. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. If you were coming to visit us, bring a good-sized vehicle, something like a big SUV or maybe a small truck or something like that, because you might find something in the clearance center that you want to take home, and it's a lot of fun to go through. 75% off MSRP is an amazing bargain, so you should really take advantage of it if you can. Like I said, we're open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can call us at 802-446-2400 during business hours. You can email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time. We love to answer emails. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont, and we're the only dealer with 90-day returns and no restocking fees. No one else even comes close to that. Some larger items are non-returnable. We'll always tell you about that. It'll be in the description thing, that part of the description underneath on the very bottom. So keep an eye out for that. We also offer a rush program. Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. They don't stock anything. That's how you're going to get all your finishes, your adjustable ranges to play with, all those things. We can cut that time in half, and it's super inexpensive. If you want to know more, drop a quick email, and I can walk you through the whole thing, okay? So if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Love to see you in our showroom sometime, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.